Hey, I'm Mike, and I would normally put this video up on my main channel, but I'm doing a little YouTube experiment today by putting it up on my personal channel, which has almost no subscribers, and we'll see how it performs. If it doesn't perform well here, I'm going to slap it up on my main channel and look at the difference, and that may be a topic for a video in the future. Today, we're talking about the Harley-Davidson Revival. Well, what's the Harley-Davidson Revival? Well, we're not sure. At the end of the 2021 launch event, they teased this photo. Now that's a tank console and a fuel cap there, and that style has been around for years and years. It also exists on some models today still, very similar, at least from what we can see in the picture. But before we get into that, let's talk about what we do know about the Revival. Well, I think the same gas tank was teased earlier in the launch video. In the early section where Jochen Zeitz was talking about the enthusiast paint sets and things like that, they showed this clip. So that's a 114 motor and a blue and black gas tank, and I think the blue matches the Revival teaser photo that they showed. So I think that's the same bike. Now, looks to be a bagger from what we can tell. We don't know for sure what it is. I don't know if it's going to be an entry-level bike, or because they teased this photo when they were talking about the enthusiast stuff, if this is going to be a special paint set deal. I don't really know what we got here. But what we do know is on February 1st, the EPA approved the Revival for Harley-Davidson using M8 engines, the 107 or the 114. So we know whatever it is, it's going to run the M8 engine, and it's going to be its own model because it got FDA approval. It's not just going to be a paint set. Now, they said in the video that they were thinking bigger than CVO. So could this be some high-end bike, or could this be another entry-level bike? That's what we know about the Revival. Let's see what we can figure out. We can look at the tank consoles on existing models, and we know it's not a Road Glide Special or a Street Glide Special. Those bikes got new gas tanks this year, and they fill on the right side of the tank console. They don't fill in the center anymore. If we look at this picture here of a Heritage, it's definitely not the right tank console for that. It's also not the right tank console for a Road King. So we know it's not a CVO because they don't fill up with the center fuel cap. They fill up on the right side of the tank as well, and they all come with 117 motors. If you look at the Freewheeler, it's not the right tank console for it either. So now that we know what it's not, let's talk about what it could be, or what it could be based off of. It is the right tank console for an Electroglide standard. It looks very similar. It could also be the tank console off of a Road Glide or Street Glide standard. They have that same style. And amazingly enough, the Tri-Glide uses that same tank console. I know you're thinking I'm crazy for even bringing trikes into this. And you know what? Before the fourth quarter business update, I would have thought it was crazy too. But I want you to listen to this little tidbit from the CEO, Jochen Zeitz, that I picked up in the fourth quarter report.
We also plan to extend and expand the opportunity to ride for new and existing customers by providing comfort, ease of use, and modern styling on our trike models. We believe there's untapped potential for traditional trikes where we lead the industry. Just don't expect to see too many product details ahead of time. As we've said before, we're keeping our cards close until we launch our new bikes.
So yeah, Jochen is talking about trikes and new bikes in the same sentence, and he's talking about keeping their cards close and not giving out too many details till they're ready to release the bike. But that sure makes me think they're up to something with the trikes. That may be a whole nother video to get into, because I really don't think this is about trikes. What do I think it's about? Well, for a fleeting moment, I had this idea of a Heritage Springer bagger, but yeah, no. I don't see that happening. I don't see the Springer coming back unless it was like a retro cruiser or something, but not in the touring line. So what's my gut tell me? My gut tells me it's related to the Electroglide standard. Do you remember the Electroglide Classic? Yeah, an Electroglide with a 2-up seat and a tour pack in the back. Entry-level bike? Yeah, That's what my gut's talking about. Right now, to get a bagger that runs 2 up with a tour pack on the back, it's over $28,000 MSRP. Now, the Electric Glide's way lower than that. So, could you put a 2 up seat on it and a tour pack and no electronics and come in the low 20s? Absolutely. Could you customize an Electric Glide standard to do the same thing? I am sure. There are removable tour packs. I'm sure you can put a 2 up seat on the Electric Glide. I'm sure you could customize it and do it. But there is a hole in the lineup for an entry-level bagger that runs 2 up. The Street Glides and the Road Glide standards, the next bikes up from the Electric Glide standard that have a 2 up seat, do not come with tour packs. You have to go all the way up to the Road Glide Limited or the Ultra Limited to get a 2 up seat and a tour pack on a bagger. And then you're over $28,000. So I think there's a spot here in the lineup for that. I think that's what they might be up to. So the last year Harley-Davidson made an Electric Glide Classic was in 2010. I was able to go out and find the facts and features and some old stock photos of it. Obviously, you know, a new version is going to have the Milwaukee 8 engines. This one had a 96-inch twin cam. It was a 6-speed transmission. I expect a revived version is going to be just like the Electric Glide standard, except it's going to have the 2 up seat. It's going to have a tour pack on the back. I don't know that they would do the chrome rails around the saddlebags again. And the original one had an audio system in it. And personally, I think they would be well off to leave that out, just like they did the Electric Glide standard. If people want music, they can use Bluetooth communicators, you know, or they could add a stereo to this if they wanted. And then Harley's got that chance to upsell you from the parts and accessories when you decide you want that later. But it would help get you into the bike to begin with at a lower price point. And the way kids are today with earbuds and, you know, AirPods and all that stuff, I don't know that they care about having a stereo that everybody else can hear. So maybe this is really a good opportunity for them. I don't know. Like I said, if it was me and I wanted an Electric Glide but I wanted 2 up, I would just buy a seat, you know, quick detach tour pack and go on. But some people don't like to work on a bike, and maybe this is just another gap they can fill in the lineup to sell another big bagger with just a few extra parts on it. Make a whole new model by adding 2 things to it. Alright, so leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think the Harley-Davidson Revival is all about. Is it a paint set? Is it a new entry-level bagger at a lower price point? Or is it something beyond the CVOs like they talked about in the launch event? If you got any inside knowledge, feel free to hit me up on Instagram for a private chat. I won't disclose anything you tell me, but I sure would like to know. Alright, if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you do that YouTube thing, check out the content on my channel. And if you dig it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to ring that bell to be notified next time I drop a new video. And as always, thank you for your support. Stay safe and keep on riding.